a lot of people from England actually pronounce my name correctly
Mm.
because you need to have a British accent to pronounce. So
Mm.
you have to say like when you not and Stanislav,
Mhm.
Stanislav,
Yeah.
Stanislav. Yeah. Hmm.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerdy West Coast Swing, the podcast with pixels where the anchors are out of this world and the points don't matter. We are here to help train your eyes so you can learn faster and dance better. I'm Cassie Winter.
I'm Alicia Marshall. If you're wondering who are we to be doing what we're doing here, Cassie and I both have extensive training and experience in both partnered and solo dancing. Cassie has about 23 years and I have about 25, which that's going to need to go up another year here soon because
no.
It's March.
Every year, it tests our arithmetic.
But tonight, we are so happy to have on a lovely guest. We have Stan on tonight.
Hey guys, how are you?
We are doing great.
Awesome.
We are so happy that you wanted to come on and join us. For those of you that don't know, like we've never really interacted in person with Stan, so
we've just been fangirling with a few choice analyses over the years, and we're like, hey, we should invite Stan on. And you were so excited. You're like, yes. And then we were really excited, and now we're here.
Yep.
Well, first, I was always a big fan of Nerdy West Coast Swing on YouTube, and I mentioned you before. Like, I'm really admire your knowledge and how much you both are so technical and particular and detailed about West Coast Swing, but not only West Coast Swing, dance in general, mechanics of movement. It's always impressive, and I'm really honored and very excited to be on Nerdy West Coast Swing. Thank you so much for inviting me.
We're so excited to have you. Okay. So I think we can kind of kick off with some background info for you. What is your dance background and whatnot?
Well, as a kid, my parents really put me to every single activity because they did not know what I'm good at. So I did so many things, and I was not really good at everything, you know. So I did singing. I would fail pretty quick, I would say, first month, and they say enough. We sing. I don't think you have any potential, which is I admit I love singing. I wish I can. Yeah. I have a talent, but I don't. Yeah. I played chess, speed chess. I was okay with speed chess. I did boxing because my dad was actually a professional boxer, but my mom didn't want me to get any concussions. And I did competitive swimming as well because my parents are short. So my parents thought I'm going to be short. So our family doctor ended up telling them, hey, how about you put your kid to swim? Because apparently a lot of swimmers are very tall people. So it actually helps the to stretch the spine and everything else, and actually did help. But at one point, a lot of kids who are like age of 16, they're like literally 6'4". You just cannot outswim them anymore with long wingspan. Yeah. And dancing was my favorite. So I did they set me up for ballroom dance at age of, I would say, 9.5, almost close to 10. Wow. So yeah, ballroom dance was so popular. I'm originally from Moscow, Russia. So it was part of the, I would say, educational program for kids, especially elementary school. It's like part of a social activity. A lot of boys need to learn how to interact with girls and everything else, and vice versa. So it actually helped me a lot with social aspect of it. I loved it from the beginning. Ballroom dance was my definitely favorite activity. I didn't dance for a while after college. I stopped at college because I need to get good grades. But then once I graduated college, I came to the United States. I ended up deciding, I'm going to turn pro in ballroom. And I competed in professional international Latin until I kind of burned out. So, and after that, I need a break from dancing. And I didn't want to compete anymore because I felt like I kind of lost passion. And then my friend said, hey, how about you try freestyle dance? I was like, what is freestyle dancing? And then they say there's salsa and bachata. It's still a partner dance, but it's mostly a freestyle. Yeah. And I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. So I went to some local salsa bachata club. For a year, I did some social dancing. But I loved it. I love Latin music in general, but I felt like I want to challenge myself. And they didn't have competitions back then. That was what, 2012, 2013, something like that. Yeah, about 10 years ago. And I was like, I want to really compete. And then my friend of mine said, do you want to try West Coast Swing? And I was like, what is West Coast Swing? They have Jack and Jill competition on Strictly. I was like, what is that? I don't even understand. What does it mean? So it means it's not a choreography, because in ballroom you need to do a choreography, right?
Yeah.
Like if you do cha-cha, samba, rumba, like you need to have a choreography. And I was like, freestyle? Like what do you mean by freestyle? You just hold hands and you just freestyle? But since I knew how to salsa and bachata, it was actually easier. So I went to local dance and I was like, hey, I really like it. And I like the music, and I didn't look back since then.
Well, that's fun.
So, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I still love salsa and bachata, and I still love ballroom. I would love to compete again in salsa bachata if I have opportunity to actually compete Jack and Jills and Strictly, if they will give me more chances to do that. But I think it's getting better, because I think West Coast Swing is one of the, I would say, a great example for other freestyle dances like salsa and bachata, that they should have similar format like Jack and Jills and Strictly's as well.
Yeah.
Great. So you've been in the West Coast Swing community for about 10 years-ish?
Actually, in March, end of this month, will be my 10-year anniversary of West Coast Swing.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you an interesting story. Thank you. So my first event was Boston Tea Party, which is like third weekend. And actually, it's supposed to be next week already, next weekend or weekend after. Yeah, it's supposed to be my first anniversary, like 10-year anniversary. I literally knew only sugar push, sugar tuck. And I remember attending all the workshops, trying to learn everything at once. And people say, you should compete. I was like, sure, I'll do it. And literally learning all the patterns from the workshops. And then I signed up for newcomer Jack and Jill. And I still have that video on YouTube. Believe it or not, I was like, oh my God, they still didn't take it down. But it's hilarious, because I have my like a Lindy Hop shoes, which is like a black and white shoes. And actually they're like size 10 and a half. They're like entire full size bigger. It looks like a clown shoes. And I remember I don't remember what actually happened to my dance shoes. I ended up borrowing from some guy, and he gave me his shoes, and they're like size bigger. And I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put them on and compete. So if you ever Google or if you search on YouTube Boston Tea Party 2013 newcomer Jack and Jill, you will see me with the big clown shoes.
I know what I'm doing later tonight.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's great.
So, anyway, I remember I end up winning this event, which is awesome. I was like knowing like very, very little and don't even look like a West Coast Swing dancer. But because I have that dance background, that definitely carried me. I'm not sure what actually happened to my Jack and Jill partner. I think she won and she quit after that. I hope I didn't traumatize her. She competed with me. She won first place in newcomer, and I didn't see her. I have not seen her since then.
That is weird, because I feel like when you're around the same area for so long and you go to the same events, you see the same people like all the time.
Yeah, all the time. But
well, you stuck around, and that's the positive part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I think there was something that you were kind of talking about before we started, I think, that was to do with your kind of dance journey since you've been in West Coast Swing. And I think we were actually going to ask you like kind of about your journey from newcomer to where you're at now. So we would love to hear about that.
Oh, like my West Coast Swing journey, like how I started. Yeah. Well, I'm a very competitive person in general, right? I'm also compete for myself, to challenge myself. Because that's like, I think it's an Asian mentality. Even I grew up in Russia. My parents are Asians, My dad was very competitive. My mom was very competitive when they were younger. And I feel like I have to excel at these things, and I feel like I gotta challenge myself. So in West Coast Swing, I just love it. I love it so much. I'm so passionate about this dance. And honestly, I have so much information to share with my students because I love it so much. And I feel like it's like infinite. This type of dance, you never get tired. I would say you never get tired, in my opinion. Like when I started a newcomer level, you know, I took a bunch of private lessons right away because I want to get better and I want to be right away, right off the bat, do well in West Coast swing. Because what I personally believe in, a lot of people don't take enough private lessons because they don't think it's a spending money. I don't call it spending money. I call it investment in yourself. And I feel like West Coast swing is easy. I always say West Coast swing easy to learn, hard to master. We all can learn steps, but it's very important how to dance them. You know, dancing well is the most important part of it, right? I mean, well, we all can do walk, walk, triple, triple, but actually dancing well is the main point of it. Yeah.
So there's a lot more to it.
Yeah. So anyway, I was taking a bunch of lessons because a lot of people say, I remember when I went to my first social dance at Boston Tea Party and I was doing crazy stuff. I was like, I'm now like trying to like get back in my memory. I was like, oh my God, that was hilarious what I did. And a lot of people say, oh, you must done other styles of dance. You must be a ballroom dancer. It's like a backhanded compliment. It's like you have a good body coordination, but you don't do West Coast swing. You know, I was like, well, thank you. What else should I say? Like, you know, because, and I was like, it kind of bothered me a little bit for a while because, you know, I didn't want to look like a ballroom dancer, a salsa dancer doing West Coast swing with all the Latin motion and weird wiggling. So definitely I was taking a lot of lessons. RJ Centeno was my first coach, you know. And I remember going to her first workshop at Boston Tea Party. It's still stuck in my mind. It was not even West Coast swing workshop. It was hip hop workshop. We didn't end up like some routine choreo for all of us, right? And he eliminated everybody but me and another girl. I actually don't even remember who was another girl. So we were battling against each other. And that's so funny because
thrown in the deep end.
I have to I have to do hip hop in one of my first workshop when I came to learn West Coast swing. But anyway, it's always engraved in my memory. And after that, I ended up going to Benji's workshop back at Boston Tea Party. And I was like, oh my God, like Benji Schwimmer, like I didn't even know him. And people say, you know, he won, so you think he can dance. And I was like, oh my God, that's right. Yeah. And I was like really excited because he's another ballroom dancer who also did ballroom as well. So it was fun to see other people who've done other styles actually doing West Coast swing. Well, about my like West Coast swing journey, right now I'm competing All-Star. I think I'm gonna turn champ eventually. A lot of people asking, when are you gonna turn champion?
Yeah, it's inevitable not at this point.
Yeah, it's a
matter of time.
I do have a lot of points. Yeah, I think now I have 284 All-Star points, which you just need only. Thank you. You just need only 150 to compete in champion. But I have a personal goal. I want to get the most All-Star points, and I want to get the most wins. So at least I achieved one goal, which I got the most All-Star points in the world, which is very, very exciting.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. It's really, really exciting. I believe right now Janelle Guido have the second most points, and Brett Wheeler has the third most points. But in the beginning, it was Mackenzie Goodmanson who had the most points. Back then, I believe she had 270 points, so nobody even were close to her. So she was just like that, like a next tier of So anyway, but she's an amazing dancer. Most wins, Brett Whelan right now is holding most wins, which is 19, and I have 18 wins in All-Star. I mean, based on Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
So
almost there.
Almost there. Yes, almost there. So
maybe it'll happen next weekend.
It could happen next weekend. You know, I honestly don't even like think about like that. You know, if I go compete and I just dance, I just want to have a good dance. I just want to have that. I feel good about my dance, and I made my partner laugh. I made my partner feel comfortable, and we both had a blast. That's what counts. And I feel like result eventually come. It will get rewarded if it's a good dance.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's something that we both really enjoy about your dancing, is that we can like see that is your goal in your dances, your spotlights and whatnot. I think that really translates well.
Thank you very much. Spotlight was something that I always try to get better at. And a lot of people think, oh, you probably don't get nervous. Oh, absolutely, I get nervous. I always tell people, like, if you don't get nervous, it means something wrong with you.
It's true. Most people do get
Unless
nerves.
You're the kind of person that gets nervous after the fact. It's just delayed onset nervessness. That happens to me every once in a while.
Delayed.
Process it after the fact.
Yeah. And I feel like my main goal is trying to maintain that, stay alert and awake, because a lot of people kind of blank out or black out during spotlights. And because of usually it's anxiety, again, being like extremely nervous. It happened to me before multiple times when I don't even remember how my dance was. Honestly, I was so nervous to the point, like, how did it go? Like, it just happened. And I remember the dance started and it finished. But lately, my goal is to stay kind of awake and alert and laser focus on my partner. I mean, that's my main goal right now, to just be alert the whole time. I for the last couple of years, I always remember every single thing I led in my spotlight final.
Wow. That's impressive.
Is there anything in particular that you do to help you stay present that we can learn
Believe
from?
it or not, so talking about alcohol, so I tried multiple things. Some people, I remember my ballroom coach used to give me a red wine a little bit to kind of like make me a little bit more relaxed. But in my opinion, alcohol is not really a good thing, because I tried many things. I tried not to drink before my spotlight. I tried to drink before my spotlight, and I tried not to drink again, because I remember when I was not drinking, I was so anxious, because I want to do well.
Yeah.
I don't want to embarrass myself in front of people, or look stupid. So, and then I started kind of like drinking a little bit before, kind of to get light buzz. And honestly, I was very sluggish mentally. I was not present, and I was like, it's not working for me. So, and I have not been drinking since then, since pandemic started. Before pandemic, I stopped drinking. Before pandemic, I started drinking. Before my spotlight, I'm trying to stay super alert, stay extremely focused on my partner. So no drinking before.
Yeah. So I guess it would be safe to say that you're not as concerned about like performing to the audience as you are just making a good dance with your partner first.
Absolutely. What's interesting? I feel like all my bad dances, usually I'm trying too hard to impress the audience.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're going through errors and trials. I literally tried everything. Like, I purposely trying to mess up. I purposely try to work on the audience, and purposely try and pay attention to my partner. Out of all my dances so far, if I completely not worry about audience and just lock on my partner, it actually works the best.
Yeah. That's something that we really have enjoyed watching your dances, is that it is so like, it draws you in when two people are like so connected in what they're doing, that it's interesting to watch. I just think that that's such a underrated like piece of the performance, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, because it's a partner dance, and I want to see really good partnering, and you always bring really good partnering to the dance.
Thank you very much. Well, I mean, that's my main goal, to actually have a great time with my partner, with my follower.
Well, I think that's a great goal, and that's a great transition.
Because hey, look, a segue.
We're gonna take a look. Possibly two dances. We'll see where we're at time-wise. But the first one I think we're going to look at is your dance with Alyssa from Vancouver this year.
Yep. Link is in the chat. Go ahead and give it a watch, everyone. When you're done, we'll get to analyzing.
All right. So,
tell us some preamble before we dive into the frame by frame.
Well, let me tell you something. It brought me fun memories. I was like, oh my God, what I was thinking, to be honest. I remember sitting in that chair because all-star winners get a chance to participate in Invitational. And again, Larissa and I end up winning all-star Jack and Jill. I mean, Larissa is excellent. Larissa Diane, Jordan's wife, she is an amazing dancer, beautiful. I was like, I was lucky to draw her. She literally carried the whole dance. I was just there as a picture, or as a frame, and she was the picture.
Yeah.
The picture. Anyway, but I remember drawing Alyssa in the final, and I'm a big fan of Alyssa's dancing. She is amazing. She's so creative, so musical, and she's just even better than she was before. Like later, I was watching her dances, especially at Mad Jam with Jordan. She was just so on a different level, I would say, compared to previous Alyssa, which is amazes me. Anyway, but I was so lucky to draw her because I actually want to draw her. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
Hey, I got Alyssa. And I was like, I remember like lining up, and she said, "Oh my God, you're so good." She told me, the first thing she told me, my shirt was so soft.
Yeah.
I could totally picture her saying that.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh my God, my checked black and red shirt was so soft." Anyway, when we started, I remember she literally kind of started like creating that inspiring patterns. She literally ducked me. So the first duck I was trying to go, she did it, not me. She literally set it up. I was like, perfect. But like she knew exactly what she was doing. I felt like she had a plan. She had a plan, and I was like, okay, looks like I'm just following this time. I'm not ready. But then the funniest thing, because probably nobody noticed, but I know I was trying to duck again, but then she was like, forget it. We're not doing it again. I was like, okay, never mind. Abort the mission. So yeah, I was trying to re-duck again. I was like, what I was thinking back then.
That's funny.
That was kind of hilarious. But this song, oh my God. I like this song. I would not say it's my favorite in general. But I love them. I like it. It was a good song. And we have nice and chill song, and I feel like Alyssa is so musical, and she just would probably could have completely backlead me the whole time, which she didn't do, but she had so many great inspirational patterns that she actually just lift me up. She lifted me up for sure in this dance. Yeah. Well, if you want to go frame by frame, sure.
Yeah. His time. Do the screen share. Or can you sense both of you looking at the ceiling?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I have a quick question before we get into this, actually. Had you danced much with Alyssa before?
No, actually, I didn't.
Okay.
I actually did maybe one or two social dances.
Okay.
But it was pretty true Jack and Jill for both of us. Cool. So that part, I'm so sorry. That part when we were both looking at the ceiling, she actually initiated.
Yeah.
So when we start looking at the ceiling, because I felt like it was so mystical, and then we're both kind of looking in the air, and trying to look at the stars or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. You can totally see she starts it, and you picked up on it so quickly you can't even tell that
yeah
she was doing it first, really, unless you're really looking.
And that's it right there, where she kind of rolls and pops her arm.
That's the time she initiated that, and I was like, okay, I reacted right away.
Yeah.
And I kind of duck now. That will be the hilarious part. I'm trying to re-duck again, and I was just like, never mind. I was like, and then where's the part I forgot? It's kind of funny. Oh, that's the part. I was like, never mind. Just start walking. So funny. Looks like I'm hunchy right here. Yeah. Because I was trying to duck again.
Level change.
Level change, yeah.
When you were kind of just feeling things out initially, did you kind of start inserting your ideas right after?
So when Alyssa started walking around, I already had a plan. Like once I decided, okay, I'm not gonna duck again, and she started walking around, and I already start having a plan because I'm already mapping the song in my mind. So I already have my kind of template in my head. But again, I was trying to open spots for opportunity for her to do her thing as well, because I know how she's so musical and vocal in the dance, and I definitely didn't want to shut her down.
Yeah. I think that's great.
And I was just
Alyssa.
Yeah, I'm just trying to complement her skills and her strengths, which she's so agile and quick on her feet.
Yeah.
And her connection is excellent. I was like very, very so glad. And I was trying to do that ripple because the music kind of dictates. And I was like, okay, let me hit that ripple, that body ripple.
Yeah.
And right here, I'm kind of like doing something with my head because I'm not sure what the lyric actually says. Sometimes I don't really pay attention to lyrics because English is my second language. So,
that's fair.
We English speakers don't necessarily pay attention either. We'll go years without knowing what the lyrics are, and then someone will tell us, and we'll be like, "Oh no, why did you tell me that?"
It happens to me all the time. I'm making up some stuff, and I didn't even know it's actually that in a song. But anyway.
I was going to ask something, and I'd like it totally just left my mind. What am I going to say?
So you mentioned the mapping that you do. Do you have an overall kind of like structure in your head for your map for most songs that you're just loosely following, or how does that work in your head as you're planning a dance, as you're dancing it?
So personally, I try to have an idea overall of the song when I'm dancing to. So for example, when the song started, right, I started thinking about, okay, what does this song says? What's the lyrics of the song? What are the lyrics, just in general? And I'm just trying to kind of have that idea without being too detailed, just overall idea, like a skeleton of the song. Right? That's what I'm planning. But yet I'm trying not to be too dominant leader. I'm gonna give my follower a chance to express themselves in a dance, that's what Alyssa is doing right now, right? Which gonna give her opportunity to showcase her skills. Yeah, but for example, Robert Royston is very dominant leader, right? And Ben Morris usually is opposite. He just so good at just allowing the followers to do their thing, and he just amazing at complementing their strengths,
Yeah. I really liked the can you go back a little bit, Cassie?
Yeah. Right. It's good technique when slow motion backwards also looks good.
Right about here. So I was just looking because it looks like here Alyssa's kind of dictating more, but then I like that after you kind of come out of this little duck head roll, you take an opportunity and you catch and take down into a dip. I really liked the choice.
I remember in that dance, that moment when she backed up, I was like, I didn't expect that back up, but she did so smoothly without really abrupting. See that, and I reacted right away, and I decided, okay, here's the opportunity. I'm gonna duck myself, and I dip her.
Yeah.
So she has that type of skill that it's not really sudden, but she kind of pre-leads the action and kind of gives me a heads up.
Yeah,
which is awesome because there's so many followers or even leaders, they do it so suddenly, it really catches by surprise.
Yep.
Yeah.
But she did so smoothly, it was very easy for me to follow her ideas.
Yeah. And I like that you not only followed what she was doing, but then added on a little bit to it.
Right, yeah. And I was trying to complement her ideas by sneaking myself in and see if I'm gonna a little bit walk around to create the dynamic flow without stopping. And then she, you see how she was so musical with her feet, right? When she kind of got up, and she did again body ripple when she got up, which is which is amazing. And then I was like, okay, let me see what I can do with that. And I decided to kind of flick her arm and walk around.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's what in my mind, I need to kind of go back and reset the pattern to create natural flow. Yeah. Because I'm all about flow. Like I'm trying not to reset the patterns when I dance.
Yeah, that's something we've been noticing a lot. And I think, Alyssa, you've spoken about it a lot.
Yeah.
We see a lot of people just stopping over and over and over again instead of continuing to transition and flow from one pattern to the other.
Right. Yeah.
It's a different skill. I mean, both have their place, but I think that especially like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I was learning, it was really drilled into my mind that you want to keep the momentum going and not, you know, be stopping all the time. So I think it's interesting. I feel like it's a trend almost based on the different stylings that people are wanting to do now. Adding so much of the like resetting and like almost a choppy feel to the dance.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. I think it's definitely a skill to create that flow without abrupting the movement, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of knowledge, but I think just more the experience where you can kind of just figure out things as you're going and you can like just go with the flow, basically. I think that that's something that it requires experience, but I feel like it's kind of getting lost somewhere a lot recently.
Yeah, it feels to be, and tell me if either of you agree or not, but we've had so many more West Coast swing competitors. Like I started competing in 2008 and it was still a pretty small community globally at that point. And we now have so many competitors that it seems like quality of movement is what's getting through, and like quality of connection and technique in the West Coast swing arena is not getting focused on enough early enough in the levels. And so we see people getting into advanced and all-star who may have excellent quality of movement, but they haven't needed to have excellent quality of West Coast swing technique to get to where they are, and they're having to learn it later in their journey. So seeing really good partnering is happening more and more at the very highest levels instead of seeing it earlier in people's careers. Like when I was a baby Westie, I would see intermediate competitors with amazing partnering skills, for example.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I definitely agree with that. You know, and there's a lot of people who've been dancing before, like people done country or hustle or even salsa.
Yeah.
I feel like West Coast swing for them, they usually say, oh, it's very, very similar. And not everybody actually succeed in that. Because I feel like even it's a partner dancing, it's slightly different animal compared to, let's say, country dancing. Or even hustle dancing.
Yeah, we use so much more improv in what we're doing, less patterny.
That's for sure, yeah.
So you use the floor so well in your spotlights. And do you have a pattern on the floor? So like I think Jordan has his triangle. Do you have something in the back of your head to help you remember to use the whole floor when you're in a spotlight?
I do pay attention to using the whole floor, and I usually use a lot of telemarks to travel. Or I just flow away, or sometimes I bend the slot certain way. Like for example, right here, you see, to travel, I just went around, and then Alyssa went around me. I did, you see, and I just nod my head because the song dictates that. You see, from the handshake hold right here, I set it up so my goal was traveling down the slot right here, and then travel backward to create that dynamic movement. Yeah, so I had an idea to travel. I'm trying to kind of quickly go over here, and then And then from here, Alyssa initiated that arm flick.
Mm-hmm.
It a little bit caught me by surprise.
Yeah. It's kind of like a.
I was like, what was that? Okay, never mind. I was like, you see how my arm was delayed? That's kind of funny. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, okay, I think we're done. It was flicking. And from here, I was trying to kind of figure it out. Like my mind was racing. I was like, how can I exit? How can I exit? And she literally, like, she set me up for exit, which is amazing.
Yeah.
We're gonna change the level. She grounded me right here. See how she grounded? And I was trying to react right here.
Mm-hmm.
Even it looks like I'm leading.
Oh, yeah.
I would say half of the time it was Alyssa's idea because she literally knows what she's doing.
Yep.
She's setting me up for success. That's how I say.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I noticed dancing a lot in Invitational. I've been dancing in Invitational already a few times, right?
Yeah.
The difference between all-star level followers versus champion level followers. Yep. Champion level followers literally set you up for success.
Yep.
When, like, for dancing with Alyssa was so easy because she had so many ideas. I don't have to even think hard what I have to do.
Yeah.
Right? With all-star level followers, you know, it's just different. It's just different, you know. Usually, sometimes we clash. Sometimes we have amazing dances. But I would say with Alyssa, let's say her caliber of dancer, like it will be hard to fail. That's how I say.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, because something that I talk about, like, as a follow is like the best follows will backlead in a way that it feels like you're leading.
Yep.
Right. And they make it so organic on top of it, and it looks like I'm leading everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that was actually something that I saw in particular in this dance, was that it looks like you're leading a lot, but it's actually more that you're kind of following and going with the flow and paying attention to what she's doing. And that's what I really liked about it.
Right. I feel like that's the best way to do that. I feel like it kind of lifts both of us. She lifts me up in a way. She makes me look good. And also, I'm trying not to fail her as well, because I know you're dancing with Alyssa. You don't want to. No, I'm afraid that she's not going to place with me, you know.
Yeah.
I have way too, like, my mind was so stressed. I was like, I didn't want to make her to have a bad dance with me.
Yeah.
And that was the last part that she dropped on me. I was like, oh my God. Almost threw my back. Yeah. It's like, hold me. I was like, okay. that was sudden. That was, I didn't expect that. But, you know, she's so light. It was easy to hold her.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like saying, look at.
She's really good at, like, getting herself into positions where she's not, like, hanging off of people when she does things like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And well, just watching her dance in general, she does a lot of risky stuff, but she never hurts herself, because she knows how to catch herself, and she looks like she really trusts the leader.
Yeah. Which
is great. And I was like, this part, I was trying to do the hustle walks, like the diva walks, but I was like, you know how John Linda likes to do that diva walks?
Yeah.
It's actually like they call it diva walks from Hustle. But it didn't really work out, so I kind of quickly readjusted myself and adapted again. And that's the part, like, oh, I'm holding you. Oh my God. So even flex my muscles, like, yeah, I got you.
Made it.
Yeah. So at Rose City Swing, you were also in the Invitational, correct? And it was an imitational, so everyone drew another pro to imitate. And you got to be KP Rutland, and
right? Oh my God,
that's who you got to imitate.
Yep.
So, and it was really interesting watching that comp, seeing how some people were better at imitating, like, the personality, where others were also going for imitating technique. And so I'm wondering, like, when you get the task to imitate someone, what went through your head? Like, how I know KP got up and demoed some stuff for you, and watching you two dance like each other for like 20 seconds was like the best part of the whole video. But like, what goes through your head as a dancer when you need to imitate someone else?
So that was something that actually I really want to imitate, like other people, like let's say Robert Royston, because I really literally know how he dances and what he uses. So for me, I was like, I want to draw Robert Royston to imitate him. But again, Chris Dumont ended up drawing him right off the bat, so which is totally fine. I think KP was more in the middle of the pack for me to imitate, because I feel like I know how he dances in general, and we are so opposite from each other in terms of style. I mean, I personally love his dancing. Like big fan of KP. I know because he's tall. I mean, he's so smooth. He has the hip hop background, and not trying to imitate him. Like I'm thinking about what else I can do. Like, well, how can I do that? And my mind was racing. And I remember when I drew that his name out of the cup, my reaction was like, oh my God, like I have to do him. And we're so opposite, right? In terms of height and style. I was like, you see my natural reaction. I kind of start laughing. Yeah, but I end up like, oh yeah, since he's the tallest guy, I literally drew a chair out.
I know that was
decided to step up.
That was funny.
That was so good.
I was like, and then I completely forgot that Leah is imitating Deborah. And I was like, why she's not coming to me? But because of that, because Leah is giving me, I was like, oh, then it clicked on my mind.
It was comedic gold.
Yes. And she keeps doing splits, and I completely forgot how Deborah dances.
Oh, yeah.
I was my mind was thinking completely like what I have to do to imitate KP, that I completely forgot that Leah is doing Deborah. So that was a challenge for me. It was not easy. Something not easy, because I'm trying to do all this body isolation, ripples, and like how KP always touches his hair, you know. I'm trying to do that. It's like he's similar to Glenn Ball.
Yeah.
Like they're both he touches his hair because he's trying to be very sensual and sassy and everything else.
Yeah.
That was definitely a task, a challenge for me. It was not easy. But let's say if I drew Sean McKeever or Maxim Zawi, that will be much harder for me task, because I just don't know how imitate them. I do not know how imitate Sean McKeever and Maxim Zawi. Jordan Benji, it's easier for me. Robert Royston, probably the easiest one.
Yeah.
KP would be in the middle of the pack for me to imitate.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's so fun. I just love the imitational as a concept.
Yeah.
It was great.
Try to imitate other people. And I feel like Tori's imitation of Alyssa, I think, was my favorite out of that whole thing, because she was not only doing personality but technique changes, and her ability to fundamentally change how she was moving at the drop of a hat was just so great. I love it.
Oh, she was excellent. Yeah, she was great. I mean, in general, everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
I think for Austin Coys, it was completely opposite for him. Which they're completely opposite of styles. When Benji is so shifty, a lot of body isolation. You know, Benji is a unicorn in dancing. He's so amazing in terms of as a dancer himself. I'm always look up to him, you know. But for Austin, I feel like that was a challenge for sure to imitate Benji. I would be totally okay imitating Benji. That's something I actually would like to draw, you know, because I think I'm pretty good with body isolation, like what Benji does.
Yeah.
I think the best impression KP did actually Kyle Red was the best.
That was so good.
Yeah, that was good.
And by the way, Sean McKeever imitating Glenn Ball was my top two. KP doing Kyle Red and Sean McKeever doing Glenn Ball.
It was good.
So, way back in the day, I don't know if video of this exists, but they did a similar style competition at Chico Dance Sensation, which was the after party before the after party. And Jordan Frisbee drew Chuck Brown to imitate. And Jordan's imitation of Chuck Brown is one of those memories that I will cherish until I'm wrinkly and can't walk anymore, because it was so good. anybody knows where it is on the internet, if it exists at all, please share it with us.
That sounds like such a very interesting.
Oh, good. All right. So, how are you doing on time, Stan? Because I know it's really late for you, and we don't want to keep you.
Oh, no problem.
You're comfortable.
Yep, I'm totally okay. I can go as long as you need to.
Aw, shucks. Thank you. So this next video we're going to be looking at is your Strictly Dance with Maria from Mad Jam last weekend. Yep. Let me grab the link. And this one is on Stan's YouTube channel. So while you're there, also subscribe to Stan. Those are your marching orders, people. All right. The link is in the chat. Go ahead and give it a watch. And when you're done, we'll get to analyzing.
Mine is all done.
Yep, it's done on my side. Well, I've seen this video so many times, so.
It's such a wonderful dance. And I hope Dave Moldover posts like the official video soon, so we can have a closer angle on it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, first things, Maria is such an amazing, not only a follower, but amazing dancer.
Yeah.
And I feel like Maria and I have such a great chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I dance with her, it's very hard to explain. It's like a relationship when people have a chemistry. It's like you enjoy dancing with someone, and with somebody you love dancing. You feel like you just meant to be, you know?
Yeah.
It's like for us, for Maria and I feel like she's such a graceful, elegant dancer, and we're both ballroom dancers, you know, something that we both struggled in West Coast Swing, not to look like a ballroom dancer.
Yeah.
And I feel like her technique, her elegance and grace is probably a champion level. I always tell all my students, if you want to watch technique, watch Maria's technique for her footwork, like how she strikes, how she rolls through her feet. Look at her foot articulation, because she's so good at it, and literally like top 3 in all-star category, in my opinion. Her technique is excellent. And again, Maria and I, we've danced so many times at this point. We kind of figured each other out. And I remember when she asked me to do at Mad Jam, I was like, yeah, sure, let's do Mad Jam for sure. I would love to. And the competition was so tough, and everybody's so good.
Yeah.
Even people who did not make final, they were also good. I never take things for granted, so I always dance my best in every single round, and trying to always kind of showcase Maria's ability and her strengths, which is her spins. She's so good at spins, and she's so creative with spins. Anyway, once we get to the final, I had a feeling they're gonna push us first, and I was like, because they start from the bottom, from the end, from the tail, and I was like, okay, fine. And because when we won the floor, like if you saw my reaction, people started clapping. I couldn't hear the song, and I was like, I can't hear. But then when everybody's like, stop clapping, it's like, yeah, good. Like, pay attention when we walk on the floor. And I was like, I'm telling people, I can't hear the song. And it's so funny. It was like because people clapping over the song. But anyway, it's I really enjoyed this dance, and I feel like this song, Let Me Love You, I like this type of music. I like R&B music that actually not offensive and actually has really good lyrics. Like, I was not really a big fan of the songs we got in All-Star Jack and Jill on Sunday at Mad Jam. I mean, some rap music could be a little bit offensive, in my opinion, and a little bit aggressive. So I'm not saying it was not a right choice. I'm just saying that I just don't want to dance something and be inappropriate in this dance, and I don't want people to cringe. So especially getting the song Wow by Post Malone. I know that it's a clean version, but if you look at the lyrics, there's things that could be pretty aggressive. So, and I know definitely hip thrust, grinding, twerking, not my type of stuff. And I don't want to do that. I don't want people start lowering with their eyes and slapping somebody. You know, it's just, I feel like I don't like it. That's why I really enjoy this type of music, R&B by Let Me Love You by Maria. And I feel like Maria is really, really good at playing with the music. I remember when we started dancing, right? I already had a template in my head. I already literally mapped the whole song. I already know the song, the lyrics. And what's funny because both of us speak Russian and English is our second language, right? But I was not sure if Maria would know the lyrics of the song, but she actually did. And I didn't. And when I was dancing, I remember I was like, I didn't want to always act to the lyrics. So I did some acting, but there's things I could easily act again, but I decided not to because I feel like it was just too much.
Yeah.
It's like when people know that you already know the song, you don't need to hit 300 times. You just hit six times and you just dance through the rest of the time. If there's a tick, tick in a song, tick, tick, and you do it every single time and it becomes too repetitive, it becomes like, it's getting old. So you just hit 6 times and that's it. And you just don't hit anymore.
Yeah. So shall we
transition to the video? Absolutely.
To the screen share.
I just want to say big shout out to Brittany Weaver who recorded our dance. She's from Dallas. Oh, no, it's again. She's from Dallas or from Austin?
She's from Austin.
Yeah. So she recorded, I believe, for TikTok or Instagram. So, which is totally fine because I posted on both. But YouTube, we need horizontal.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right.
There so that's the time. And I was like trying to calm people down. I cannot hear the song. I like going first, because at this point I'm not so nervous.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not so anxious, so I didn't mind going first.
Yeah.
There's no one to compare yourself to, and you can just enjoy
be yourself.
The dance.
Yeah, just enjoy the moment. Exactly. So there's a part in the song I kind of hit with the leg a little bit with my right leg, just to accentuate a little part after that starter step. And then just went for a walk with Maria. So we did right here, see. And then we did for a walk. I was trying to hit something in the song. I thought Maria gonna go underneath.
Yeah.
So she will do like a monkey bar, but she didn't, which is totally fine with me. But I expected her to go underneath. So, but how she kind of flick her leg was so cool. And I was like, oh, that was really cool.
It's funny. It kind of looks like she wasn't sure what she wanted to do.
Right. In the beginning, yeah. Unless was her agenda to kind of do a leg flick a little bit. So I still don't know. I need to ask her.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, from here, like, we're going to do that part. And because the song dictates, and then she was like, baby, I just don't get it. She just kind of like shrug her shoulders, and like makeup on your shirt or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the lyrics of the song? It's something with perfume.
So
and I did.
I just wanted to talk about, so I really liked how long you stayed in a more closed position initially, but then rather than just going to a normal, like, West Coast swing basic of some sort, I really like that you actually turned it so you're both facing forward.
Yeah, that was my agenda because I usually teach all my students like try to stay in close position in the beginning longer.
Yeah. And you did that with Alyssa too.
I did. Yes, I did. That's my thing. I'm telling you now all the secrets.
Yeah.
It's one of our soapboxes too.
Oh yeah. Always.
So yeah, I'm trying to stay definitely longer in close position before I separate from my follower.
Yeah.
And then there's the part when they mentioned about perfume and I like kind of flick my hand in front of my face. Yeah, before I did the reverse whip right here. Yeah.
Flowed really nicely in with what you did though.
Thank you. Yeah. And I was just trying to create nice flow right here. Continuous flows, not trying to stop the pattern. I was trying to kind of transition into the next one to create that nice picture.
Yeah.
And there's the part when I did da 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 da, and I'm kind of trying to move my feet, and then it's a part of the song. I was like, what did he say in the song? Like, baby, you should not be worried when I'm your man, something like that.
I think it's if I was your man, baby, you'd something.
You don't have to worry about, right? That's why I'm like looking at Marie and like nodding, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of acting a little bit here and there, and how he hits in that pose, and she was so confident that I'll be there.
Yeah.
Because usually followers look for the leader and like, where are you? Where are you? So yeah, it went pretty easy. And her spins are great, you know. And then what's interesting about Maria's style, right? She's so elegant, yet she's so funky. It's kind of a very cool combo.
Yeah, she's
like
really
usually
unique.
Yeah, very unique in that style, yeah. And then that one-footed spin, when she set it up, I was like, oh, that was so dope. And everybody started clapping, which is good. And I was like, yep, she did it. And you saw my reaction, like after that spin, I was like, see? She can, what she can do. And like, look at this, yeah. She usually changes her hand when she spins, but not this time. She likes to experiment.
Yeah.
And she usually changes the hand, but she didn't this time.
Yeah, it's a really nice choice for the song. Like the line that she created, very pretty. On that same note, I feel like sometimes followers want to do something unique, and so they tend to maybe force something that doesn't go with the song that they're dancing to. I think that this is such a great example of like the song is more on the pretty side, and so going with something that's more elongated with the lines and very flowy, it's a really great choice for her.
No, definitely, I agree with you, because you have to kind of match the song vibe. And you look at choice. Some people being a little bit too aggressive. I call it high risk, low reward.
Yep.
So if they know they're gonna lose, if they're gonna do something.
Have you been spying on Alicia and I just talking by yourselves? I feel like you fit right in with her and I just hanging out.
These are the things we talk about.
Like you could have turned the word aggressive into a drinking game the last time she and I were talking about stuff.
Oh my God, that's so funny. But yes, I agree with Alicia, whatever you said. Yeah. It has to match the song vibe, and the character of the song as well.
Yeah.
And then that's the part I was trying to do without being too much, because I was trying to be cautious not to do too much. Because again, I don't want judges to roll their eyes and they say he's being too sexual or too much. So I was trying to kind of be more subtle with my choices right here when I place myself, because that the song dictates, because the lyric of the song, I don't even remember what lyrics said. But yeah, I did very like a body, like a hip ripples, you know?
Yeah. You know, I think it's a good choice. Like in general, it's not too much. It's just, and you don't continue it for very long, you know? It's kind of just
exactly. Like I just did twice, and I feel like it's more than enough. Very subtle without being too aggressive.
Yep.
And then Made Me Your Selection. I think that was the song, and when she raised her hands, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because I actually did not think she's gonna hit that part, but she did it.
She did it in like a funnier way.
Yeah, and I kind of looked at her and I was like, yeah, you got it, girl, you got it. What amazes me about Maria, that I'm not sure if many people know, but you know, she's married and she has 3 kids, 3 little kids. So, and she travels a lot for dance events, and which is amazing, and it's really, really nice of her husband to allow his wife to travel and kind of fulfill her goals and passion, which is dancing.
Yeah.
You know, what a great husband. I just want to give him a shout out, you know?
Yeah. Very cool.
And that's the part when the phrase change is coming, and I was like trying to hit towards the audience, that dip. And I was like, okay, we're gonna do something in close position afterwards, you know?
Yeah.
that waist catches and the dip.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, like we're gonna go for a ride. I'm thinking like, and she ended up responding right away, that ride.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
just going back, it was such an easy dance. I didn't even struggle at all. Because Maria and I, we danced so well together. We have like literally a great dance chemistry. It's like equivalent of dance wife or something. Because we're similar age, so it was.
And you're also a wonderful follow. So do you have a dance husband that you enjoy following that much?
No. Oh my God, that's hilarious. No, actually, no. I did few competitions, as a follow in advanced. Chris Uza, he's from Dallas, Texas. I danced with him a couple times. I danced with Skylar Pritchard. She led me.
Yeah, she's an amazing leader.
She's an amazing. Skylar is another unicorn. I love dancing. And I feel like Skylar and I have also another great connection, chemistry on the floor.
Yeah.
Skylar is very similar to Maria, but yet they're so different, right? Mm-hmm. Skylar really in so high energy. She loves performing, and she's very charismatic on the floor. I feel like that's her strength, and she's only 20 years old. She just turned 20, and she will only get better and better.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Maria, Skylar, I would say Larissa, trying to pronounce her name correctly. Larissa. Yeah. What's interesting, because this I believe Americans say Larissa, but it's actually Larissa.
Yeah.
So you have to it's like double E if you read as double E. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
we were talking about that on our episode that we did, if you guys
like someone set the record straight.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, people still don't know how to pronounce my full name. And so just tell them, just don't worry about it. Call me Stan, which is totally fine. But I always tell people, a lot of people from England actually pronounce my name correctly, because you need to have a British accent to pronounce. So you have to say like when you not and Stanislav. Stanislav. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how people usually. But yeah, that dance from Medjam was so easy. Oh my God! Like I honestly, I was very happy how it turned out, and then we ended up winning pretty handily, which is great. Anyway, yeah, that.
Great dances.
Thank you.
So where can people find you online? So website, social handles, anything, that kind of stuff. Plug all the things you want to plug.
So I have my so I have multiple platforms right now. I'm trying to actually expand my platform lately, because I never really cared about it until people started saying you need to start sharing your dance videos, and I was like, it's a good idea. So I have a TikTok account, but I don't use it. So maybe I need to start exploring a little bit more. But I use Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
So on Instagram, I usually write not Stan is love, like because people write my name like love, Love. So I'm just trying to make it clear it's not Stan is love. Yeah, so it's like an inside joke.
That's fantastic.
I have my YouTube channel, so feel free to subscribe. I always had that YouTube channel, but I never actually posted any videos. But since pandemic hit, I kind of I had more time, so I started uploading more videos, and now I upload pretty frequently after each competition.
Yeah.
I do have Twitter, but I don't really use it. And that's it. Probably only fans left, right? Nothing else.
And then, so you said you're going to be at Chicago Classic, City of Angels. What's after that on your schedule? If people
that's correct. Chicago Classic, City of Angel, Easter Swing, Grand Nationals, Jack and Jill Rama, Liberty Swing, and Wild Wild West for now.
Oh,
awesome!
Yeah, coming down 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about Novice Invitational, but I don't think I can go that weekend. Yeah, but I would love to. Definitely would love to.
All right. Well, I think we can wrap things up unless anyone in the chat.
Yeah, does anybody who's here live have a question for Stan? Feel free to drop it in the chat or raise your Zoom hand and we will unmute you. That's what I have to say with my life coaching clients, because if I just say raise your hand, they'll just like literally raise their hand, but their videos are off, and then I don't know. I'm like, no, you gotta use the Zoom raise your hand function, so you get pushed to the front of the queue.
Okay, well, if we don't have any questions, I think we can wrap it up. And thank you so much for joining us. This was so fun.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Cassie and Alyssa. You are both so wonderful, and it was a treat to be on your channel. And I feel really honored, seriously.
Well, that goes both ways. We're honored to have you.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, actually, for our other regular viewers, we canceled last week because I had a storm in Dallas.
You were trapped in a bathroom.
So we will be coming back with the episode we were supposed to be doing next time, which is going to be talking about episode on shoes.
So it'll be live on Zoom. I think it's March 23rd, and then it'll be up on YouTube the Sunday after that.
Yep. Other than that,
all right.
Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you so much again.